please subscribe, hit that like button, and as always, leave a comment, and thank you for enjoying the video.
Shot to right, slicing toward the pesky pole, down the line, and it's going to be out of here! Line down the right field line toward the pesky pole, leaping up, and that ball is gone! That's a home run! A lot of our Nesson team as well. High fly down the right field line, headed toward the pesky pole, that one tucked in, and that ball is going to be against the wall, and into second base. Number retired, and now Rafael Devers trying to retire that baseball inside the pesky pole.
Welcome to another episode of the Pesky Podcast. I'm your host, The Rit. With me, like always, is the OG George Sutherland and my man DC. I see DC, you got that Halkamania shirt running wild. I went and did the City Connect version. Got the baby blue with the yellow going on. So, and with us tonight, we got the Pirate series coming up, starting on Friday. We got our good friend. We got Kody Duncan back on. Kody, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Thanks for having me again. I know it's been a while. I think the last time I was on your show was probably like a year from today. It seems like. So it's nice to be back on.
Yeah, you were, I think, the first writer we had on our podcast last year. So I know that you were really excited because you don't get to do this side talking about both teams a lot when you go on podcast. So we're really excited to bring you back to talk a little Pirate series. Last year wasn't too good to us, to be honest. You guys took care of us pretty easily. So let's just hope there's not a repeat for that one.
Yeah, that was a good series for us because I remember on your podcast I predicted that you guys would win the series, I think 2-1, and I think we swept you guys. So yeah. It was unexpected, but hopefully we do that again.
Yeah. So, well, George, DC, how are you guys doing? I know we just got done talking. We punched out. This is our third episode this week because we had a bonus of David Sandlin coming on. So how you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
I'm doing well. Long time no see.
Yeah. So, man, let's just dive right into the Pirates Red Sox series. And man, once again, we get news that Whitlock was put on the IL. Joe Jocks, got called up today to replace him. And once again, here we are with our rotation being in shambles.
Actually, I got a question about that.
Yeah.
I've heard it announced Jocks, but I've also heard it announced Jakes. What is it? George, you know?
Yeah. No. I suppose either way, I've never heard him come out and say, do it this way.
I can actually answer that because he was a former Pirate.
Okay.
It's Jax. It's Jax.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So
okay.
You actually heard one even wrong.
Or maybe it's not. Yeah, I think it's at least that's what other AAA affiliate announcers were saying. It was Joe Jacks. So I'm guessing that's what it is, but we'll see. He follows me on Twitter.
That's dope.
Oh, nice. So maybe we can get a pronunciation out of this. But he got recalled up. So we were, before we came on the air here, we were trying to scramble to try to figure out who the starting rotation for, is going to be for this series. We have 2 out of the 3 for the Red Sox. Kody, you have 2 out of 3 possibles for, the Pirates. So let's dive into the Friday night game when we got our number 1 starter, Brian Bayo, going out there. And you said that he's possibly going up against who, Kody?
So right now it's to be determined. Marco Gonzalez was our number 5 starter. He's on the 15-day DL, forearm strain, which never's good. So who knows how long he might be out. So we had Jose Fernandez, a left-handed relief pitcher, get optioned to AAA today, and the corresponding move, at least speculation, is going to be the starting pitcher for Friday night. Speculation, a lot of fans believe that it's probably going to be Quinn Priester. Quinn Priester in AAA this year, 3 starts, 13.2 innings pitched, 20 Ks. So he does have a lot of strikeouts with a 3.95 ERA, 1.24 WHIP. Now he did see some action in major league play last year, but it wasn't very good. So we'll see. But that is a guy to keep an eye on. Another thing you could keep an eye on, I suppose, is they go just with a 4-man rotation just for the end of this week, because they have a day off tomorrow, so they could technically use and throw out Mitch Keller on Friday night as well. I don't think that's going to be the case, but that's also a possibility to at least think about.
I would prefer we don't see Mitch Keller this series on the Red Sox standpoint, just because I know how good he actually can be. I was actually hoping that we would somehow trade for him in the offseason, but apparently the price tag included might have been a little too high for the Red Sox. So, DC, you want to sit there and talk about how Bayo's doing so far this season?
Yeah, so he's been kind of streaky. He'll have a couple good innings to start the game off. He's given up 5 home runs already this year, which is not something you really want to see. But struck out 19 and 20 2/3. He does battle back though, so that's one thing that you can give him a positive on. But he's been leaving the changeup high up in the strike zone, which obviously they're gonna get hammered. But overall, he's been pretty solid. 3.92 ERA. His whip's sitting at like 1.2. I'd like to see that come down a little bit, but it's just a home run ball. He's got to just keep that changeup down in the zone, and hopefully he can do that against the Pirates.
Yeah, I personally, I don't mind a home run if it's a solo shot every now and then. It's walking the guys on base and then giving up the home run. That's what I think's been killing him so far this season. So
he does bounce back though, which is good to see. His last start, it kind of looked like there was going to be an early exit for him. I mean, he went 5 2/3, but I was honestly expecting maybe 4. Once that inning did happen, but they recovered really well.
Yeah, I do like seeing that from him though, because for him being as young as he is, it's just something that you don't want to get in your head too early. So Saturday, we're throwing out Cutter Crawford, and who do you guys have for the Pirates there, Kody?
For what day?
Saturday game 2.
Saturday, it's either going to be, like I said, Mitch Keller. That will be Mitch Keller if that corresponding move ends up being a starting pitcher, and that guy goes, like I said, Quinn Priester. If he goes Friday, it will be Mitch Keller on Saturday. So you're going to see Mitch Keller regardless. It's either going to be Friday or Saturday, but it's most likely going to be Saturday.
Okay, and what can we expect from Keller? For the season so far.
Yeah, he started off. So he has had 4 starts. First 2 starts that were pretty bad. First start of the season against Miami, 5 2/3. Gave up 7 hits, 4 earned runs. Then the following start, he went against the Nationals, 5.1 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, gave up a home run. Not a lot of strikeouts those first 2 starts as well. 3 against Miami, 5 against Washington. But the last 2 starts has been kind of what we have expected from Mitch Keller. Against Detroit, he went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts. And then his last start against Philly, very tough offensive lineup. 7 innings, 8 hits, only 2 earned runs, and 4 strikeouts. So the last 2 starts have been very good. Hoping to see, obviously, that trend continue.
Yeah, and he's going up against us. Yeah, Cutter Crawford, who kind of seems like he's pretty much been unhittable this season so far. George, want to talk about Cutter?
Yeah, I mean, he pitched Monday, went 5 2/3 innings. He pitched very, very well. He's been the most pleasant surprise, I think, in the starting staff. He's in that Monday game. He kept the game scoreless while he was in there, and it was the bullpen that coughed it up for him. He's slated to be the number 3 starter in this team, but with Pivetta down, he slid into the number 2 and has performed very, very well. He's attacked the zone. He's done exactly what you want, and he leads all the starters in terms of ERA so far, and has really, really blossomed this year. I think Pirates fans will be somewhat entertained with the way that he manages the game, and he does it really very, very well.
Yeah, I'm really excited for how well Cutter Crawford's been doing, because you guys know that's my boy. I sit there.
You think he? Sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Oh no,
I just want him to see him go deeper in the games. He's only reached 6 innings once. I mean, looking at that good, obviously, it's part of the game plan. If it's not going right, but if he could extend that to 6, 7 innings, then he's going to be filthy.
Yeah, I really hope that Crawford does get a little deeper, because if we're using our bullpen more, we need our starters to go a little deeper. Bayo's been going out there a little bit more, hitting the 6th inning a couple times. Crawford's got to step up and do the exact same thing. So, Kody, who do you guys have for Game 3 potentially?
Should be Martin Perez. A little bit about Martin Perez. Obviously, we signed him over the offseason. He was originally with the World Series champions, the Rangers. We signed him for 1 year, $8 million. He's been a pretty good number 2 starter for us right now. On the season, he has a 2.55 ERA and 4 starts, 24.2 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts with a pretty nice whip of 1.26. Just his last 3 starts, he's had at least has gone 5 2/3 innings. So he's a guy that he's an inning eater. He's going to give you a bunch of innings, and he's going to limit the damage, and hopefully get us to the good side of our bullpen, and that's what we're hoping. Obviously, on what is that, Sunday?
Yeah, that's Sunday. And from Chris Cotillo, he sat there and said it could be anywhere from Anderson, or we might call up Uwasawa. I'm guessing that's how you pronounce his name from AAA. But he said
the kid they picked up from the Rays when he got DFA'd.
Yeah,
he pitched very well in Worcester the other day.
Yeah, he's said that Winkowski will not be getting that starting rotation, spot start. He likes Wink in the bullpen, for the long innings. So if I had to say, Anderson or Owasawa, Wink might be the one piggybacking off him to try to help extend them out. But either way, it's a spot start, and this not something you want to see this early in the season, where you're having spot starts. But then again, it's something you want to see early in the season, so you got plenty of time to make up, because championships aren't won and lost in April, so that's a good thing for us. So Kody, something a little new this year that we're sitting there and doing. We don't call we pick our, like we did last year, the Cy Young Award, the series MVP and then the series win-loss record. But we switched it up here. The OG George Sutherland, he switched it from the Cy Young Award to, we like to call it,
Totally nasty.
the Totally Nasty Award. So we're gonna sit there and pick our.
Dude, the look
our
on his face.
We're gonna pick our pitcher right now.
Welcome to my world, man.
For the Totally Nasty Award, we're gonna start with George. George, who do you think is gonna be the best pitcher in the series?
I gotta go with Kody Crawford. It would be great if he could go 6 innings this time around. But Kody Crawford and DC. You probably. Well, we know Ritt's going to take Crawford, right? The question is, were you going to do it as well? But I think Crawford. I think he's due to get his due. So,
DC, who are you thinking?
I was going to go Cutter, but I need to make a charge in these standings for the whole year. So I'm going to go Bayo. I'm not touching the game on Sunday. I think that's, dare I say it, an opener, a bullpen game, which sucks. We're already seeing that, 2-3 weeks into the season. But, yeah, I'll go Bayo just for the sake of trying to, gain some ground.
Kody, who are you picking for the award?
Do I have to choose the Pirates, or can I go with the Red Sox, or can I, can I go?
You can go either team, whoever you want. You will be the first person we had come on go for another team, but it's perfectly fine.
So if I chose the Pirates, it would definitely be Mitch Keller because he's pitching very, very well. But just from what I've seen with this Pirates offense this past series against the Mets, I feel like you could throw me out there and probably throw a complete game against this offense right now. That's how bad they've been. So I'm gonna go with Bayo. I think his pitch mix, and I like the way his presence on the mound. I think he's gonna mull down this offense of the Pirates. In this first, I believe it's the first game. So yeah. I think he's gonna be the. What did you call it? The nastiest pitcher of the series?
The Totally Nasty. So,
If I
go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No,
I was just gonna say, if I could choose either team, it would be Bayo and then Keller. So I'll choose both.
So I want to stay in the lead. So I think they're going to use him twice. I'm going to take Winkowski. I'm taking Winkowski for this series for the Totally Nasty. I think he's going to get a little with Bayo, and I think he's going to piggyback in Game 3. So that's who I'm going to be taking for my Totally Nasty award. So what I'm going to sit there and we're going to go over to the lineup. And Kody, you said about your offense, man. Can you sit there and our defense? If you can hit a ball to second base or shortstop now, you almost are guaranteed a single, possibly a double, the way they're playing sometimes. Ever since Trevor Story
your defense has been pretty bad, huh?
We're leading the league in errors already, I think, with 17. So
I think they have 18 or 19 now after last night, which makes it even worse.
Yeah, I think it was 18.
Yeah, so man, it's ever since Trevor Story went down, our whole defense has went to shambles because we're playing David Hamilton there, who's not a true shortstop at all. He's doing the best he can, but we have no shortstop right now. I don't think even on the 26-person roster for the majors. Reyes we could put over there. He's not a true shortstop. I'd be willing to trade, for your nice shortstop over there, Kody, because he's pretty special over there.
You talking about O'Neal Cruz?
Oh yeah. So
yeah, you're not touching him. You're not getting him at all.
But the good thing with us is, been watching. We have Marcelo Meyer that is in Double-A now. He's going to be moving to Triple-A. I feel really soon. He's had a hit in every game so far this season for Portland Sea Dogs. So and he's hit the bat really well too. So I really think that he's going to be, moving to Triple-A soon. Do we see him later in the season? Possibly. But I don't want to really hurry bringing him up there too much. But so Kody, let's talk about your infield in the lineup. It's a little bit different look than last year. But who are some people that stand out very well?
Brian Hayes is one in the infield for sure. I mean, he's dealing with some lower back tightness, so he hasn't played the last 2 games, but I think it's just precautionary. So I think he'll be good to go by Friday night. Right now on the season, he's batting .277 with almost a 400 on base percentage or OBP, 750 OPS. Guy is unbelievable third baseman, won a gold glove last year. So anything you hit to him, maybe a little bit opposite of what you guys are dealing with. Anything that's hitting the infield, at least on the left side, is pretty easy, an easy out for the Pirates right now. Second base is very similar. Jared Triolo, he's a true third baseman, but obviously with Brian Hayes playing third base, they had to find a position for him, and second base has been his position. And he's won gold gloves in the minor leagues, and I think he is in the top 5 with defensive runs saved right now so far. So our infield is very good defensively. O'Neal Cruz, he'll throw his fair share of errors. He's kind of wild out, at shortstop, but at the same time, he makes some pretty amazing plays that make up for some of those errors. So the infield's pretty nice. First baseman, we have Rowdy Tellez. I'm still up in the air of how I feel about this guy. He came in supposed to be a power guy. He's only hit 1 extra base hit the first 19 games. So it's not really been what we've been hoping for. I mean, he's okay defensively, but offensively he's been struggling. Hopefully that changes this series, but that's kind of what our infield's looking like. Catcher Henry Davis, I'm losing. I know he's young, and I know it's early, but man, you'll see he's struggling at the plate, and he's really defensively, I believe he's kind of below average. So hopefully things turn around for him. I really do hope the best for him, but right now you can definitely tell he's struggling a lot. But that kind of rounds out our infield.
Okay, and it's one good thing though, because if we can get some more guys on base and an inexperienced catcher back there, pass ball here or there, when it's not defensive, prowess is top notch. We could easily steal bases, and which would help us out a lot because our offense sometimes struggles just as much as our defense does. So. DC, what about you? You want to sit there and talk about our infield now?
Yeah, let's go around the horn. First base, I think, is our best player right now as far as health wise and catching fire right now. Tristan Casas, 355 on base percentage. He's got some home runs. He's got 4 in the last 5 games after kind of a rough start. So that's good to see. He's probably the most consistent. I mean, his base running blunder yesterday was kind of frustrating, but he did make up for the home run, a couple innings later. You got Valdez at second. He's got that power, but he'll definitely strike out. I think he has a strikeout in every game in the last 5 games. Reyes, he's not that great, hitting 188. He does have a hit tonight with a run, but nothing too special. Devers, I don't know what's going on with him. Obviously, he has a shoulder injury going on. Last night, got taken out of the game late with a sore knee. woke up today. Am I on mute this whole time?
No, just now.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Oh, and Hamilton, he's not too great with the bat, not too great with the defense either. If he does get on base, it's nice to have Rafaela, Hamilton at the bottom of the order, then get to the top order with Duran. A lot of speed if those two can't get on base for Duran. But yeah, overall right now, not that great of offense from the infield other than Casas. Devers will get back to normal once the injuries kind of fade away, but can't really expect too much from the other guys. A hit here or there, and then obviously the defense has been atrocious, just off the wall, crazy bad.
Yeah, the one person on our infield that's kind of surprised me has been Connor Wong. Last year we've known him for his defense, but he's back-to-back games now with a home run, and that's something that surprises me a little bit, that he has that power, and he's been able to show it there. So
good call. I forgot him.
But Kody, let's talk about your outfield now. Out there in that beautiful bar. I'm going to say Fenway Park is my favorite, but the best looking one I've been to, just because of the view, has got to be your ballpark.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice field. I love going to that park. But yeah, our outfield, especially if you guys are going to have 3 righties starting, it's probably going to look something like, obviously, Brian Reynolds in right field. You guys know a lot about Brian Reynolds, I'm sure. He's one of our, star players. He's doing all right this season so far. Then center field, Michael A. Taylor. We signed him this offseason. He's batting .298 this year, but he's really struggling as of late. I think he's 2 for his last 22 at bats. So he's struggling a little bit, but you'll see him in center field. Hopefully he gets out of his little funk here. He does have a .327 on base percentage this year as well, but his OPS is really low. It's 689. So we really need him for his defense more than his offense. So that's one of the reasons why we signed him. But a little bit of offense that he's given so far this year has been obviously welcome. And then in left field, you'll most likely see Jack Sawinski against your right-handed pitchers. He is playing very, very bad, but he is notorious for being a slow starter. 172 batting average, 269 on base percentage with a 562 OPS. So he's at the plate. He's struggling. He does have 2 home runs on the year, but he's one of the very, very streaky players that you'll see, in baseball, where sometimes he'll have these streaks where he's just so cold, but then one game he just comes out of nowhere and hits, or one series he comes out of nowhere and hits like 4 home runs. So you never know what you're going to get with this guy. He's a question mark. So if you start seeing him hitting a couple home runs this series, know that you're getting him at the wrong time, essentially, because you'll probably see multiple home runs, multiple extra base hits, and he'll just come out of nowhere and look like he's, Barry Bonds. I'm not even kidding you. That's how he looks sometimes. But then he looks like, he can't even hit a baseball. So he's that streaky. But we'll see how he is. But most likely you're going to see him almost every single game, I would assume.
Yeah. Our outfield. We had. I don't know if you paid attention to the sports, but a couple of days ago we had a little scare in our outfield with a collision between Tyler O'Neill and Rafael Devers that put O'Neill. I think he needed 8 stitches when he took a head shot to Devers. And we need Tyler O'Neill in that outfield for his defense, for his arm, for his speed, and for his bat too. So George, let's sit there and talk about. I think O'Neill will be available Thursday, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he's supposed to. And tomorrow's the getaway day. against the Guardians. So he's supposed to play tomorrow. I haven't heard anything different. As Rich said, we need him. He has been everything that we were told he would be when he came here. And if you're familiar from his days with St. Louis, this guy can mash. He's jacked beyond all get out, right? He's one strong man, and when he endeavors hit, he tough kid. He came up, he's got 8 stitches in his forehead now, and but he'll be back and probably will be diving and everything else, back in the lineup. He's played right field for us a lot, and some left field. He was a Gold Glove left fielder with the Cardinals. So having him out has been a little tough the last couple of games because he's one of the few right-handed power options we have. Right now, the outfield is Jaron Duran in left, Ceddanne Rafaela in center, and Wilyer Abreu in right. Now, Jaron Duran got all the speed in the world. Also, part of the Super Smash Brothers, as we've labeled them, with him and O'Neill, the workout kings. He's played very well this year. Got thrown out trying to steal tonight, but he's done. He's more than showed that last year was not an aberration, and has played fairly well. Ceddanne Rafaela, they just extended him. He is a Gold Glove caliber center fielder. He can fly. He can get the ball. What we've noticed is that people don't stray too far off of a base with him because he's not afraid to turn around and fire it in and try to pick somebody off. At the plate, he's been somewhat overly aggressive, but at times he shows the ability to take what the pitcher gives him. But, he is Rich referred to him as a human highlight reel, and he's all of that. Now, there's been some talk about moving him to shortstop because he came up as a shortstop. I think they're going to leave him in center field. They're going to figure something out at shortstop, but my goodness, you see a tremendous center fielder. Wilyer Abreu was somebody we got in the Vasquez trade along with Valdez from the Astros. He's had an up and down season so far at the plate. He's made a couple of errors recently, but boy, he's more than made up for those with some tremendous catches and really solid throws from right field. And he's got some speed. It's he's not a slouch either. He can cover some ground. Last night there was a play in which Rafaela came all the way from center field into right center field, but Abreu was right there behind him. So he can play decent defense. Took away a home run from someone the other night and made a key catch in the 9th inning to keep the game close, allow it to go to extra innings. But yeah, it's offensively, 2 of the 3 positions haven't done a whole lot. Defensively in the outfield, we've been better than we have, on the infield. So,
not to sit there and cut away from the Pirates, but George, Tanner Houck threw a complete game shutout. He went 9 innings.
I just looked down at my phone and saw that I had game day up. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 hits, 9 Ks. Oh, man, that is absolutely crazy. And that's extremely good because with tomorrow being a potential bullpen matchup, that would definitely help us out, and then leading into the Pirates series, having a fresh bullpen.
I think I had him as totally nasty, too, for this series, didn't I, Rit?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. But yeah, our outfield is, it's young. It can cover a lot of ground. And out there in PNC Park, that is definitely a lot of ground to cover out there. And for some reason, for me, the 2 biggest outfields, like looking at them, Kody, is your ballpark, and then look at the Twins. Like for some reason, it looks like their outfields go on forever. For some reason, or is it just me?
No, you're right. Left field is very hard to hit a home run in PNC Park. I think the Royals Park is looks pretty hard, like pretty big too. Am I wrong on that? I feel like it's pretty hard to hit a home run there.
Yeah. I can sit there and see. It's just the first two that come to my mind. Is
Kauffman
yours
Stadium, I think it's called.
Kauffman Stadium, yeah.
Yeah. So let's go and talk bullpen now, real quick. So who do you have in the bullpen, Kody? And is there any surprises that we should be looking at? Coming in the late games.
Yeah, our bullpen was supposed to be one of our strongest parts of our team, but right now they've been really struggling. A lot of that has to do with injuries. So Ryan Baraki, he's on the 15-day IL. He was one of our funky lefties that helped out of the bullpen, but he's hurt. We do have Aroldis Chapman. We signed him over the offseason. For the most part, he's pitched pretty well, but these past couple games, he's been very streaky and hasn't really found the zone. So he's a kind of a question mark lately. David Bednar has been a question mark. He's kind of struggled for the most part this year. I think he has 3 blown saves already. So that's another guy. I do like Josh Fleming out of the bullpen. We signed him. He was on the Rays last year. Colin Holderman. Very reliable guy out of the bullpen. So there's some guys out there, that I really like in this bullpen, but I'm really hoping we call up Carmen Majinski here soon. He was dealing with some injuries during spring training, and then they optioned him back to AAA after his rehab stint. So I'm hoping we see him because he's one of the better pieces in this bullpen, and hoping to see our bullpen actually get healthy because we're struggling on at the end of the game, especially 7th, 8th, 9th inning. It feels like we're giving up runs almost automatically, it seems like lately.
Yeah, and George, you want to go over our bullpen? It's hit or miss with our guys sometimes, especially if you ever been nervous when Kenley Jansen. If you haven't been nervous when Kenley Jansen comes in, then you're not watching him. I don't know what's wrong with him. He gave up his first run, game 1 of the Guardian series, and then he went and gave up, a blown save last night. Yep. I don't get it, and then he comes in at the end of the Angels series and he walks the bases loaded, but then he gets Mike Trout out. So it's completely with Kenley. You don't know which closer you're going to get with him. But George, let's talk about that.
Yeah, to piggyback on Kenley, I refer to it as he's still shaking the rust off. He did not have a very deep spring training. He didn't get started till late. He had some issues, and he's not been himself. At times he's been effective, but for the most part, you flip a coin, you don't know which Kenley you're going to get, which, for your closer is not the most optimal position to be in. Chris Martin, who was lights, after the first month of the year last year was lights out. He struggled. And the other third part at the end of the bullpen for us, is Josh Winkowski. And, he fought for a starting role, but, they put him back in the bullpen and he thrived there last year in 60 appearances. He was that 1 to 2 inning bridge, firing gas to get you to the big boys at the end. He's been up and down. The one real bright spot is the Rule 5 kid we got, Slayton. He's performed very, very well. And then, roll the dice for the rest of them. Weishart's been okay. Isaiah Campbell, after an initially great start, he's kind of, coughed it up a couple of times. And then, the two lefties, Joelio Rodriguez, who started off bad, had a couple of good innings, and then last night coughed it up again. And Bernardino, who's probably the most solid lefty and should have been on from opening day, but wasn't. And we're at that stage where we're calling up guys from our AAA squad to pitch, in Criswell, and we're probably going to have to do that again, for the third starter on Sunday. They all have the capability of making the bullpen a strength for us, but other than the first couple of the games of the season, it hasn't really turned out that way. And particularly with the big guys at the end, and Martin and Jansen, we haven't gotten consistent, solid performances like you would expect from two quality veteran pitchers. So it's been difficult at best to watch, and everybody's kind of like crossing their fingers at times, when he has to go to the pen. And Alex Cora is a bullpen killer, so it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy at times.
The bullpen, I love them, but I get worried with them a lot, and you shouldn't have to be worried about that. So, Kody, not to sit there and step away from the Pirates, but George, man, this is crazy. My phone is blowing up right now. Post-game show, they put up the shirt.
No.
On Nesson, they put the shirt up. Hulkamania, Papelbon's going crazy over this. Man, this is absolutely amazing. It's a big step for us here on the Pesky Podcast. I gotta go watch the post-game show so I can sit there and hear about it. But they actually put the shirt up on the screen, so it's kind of amazing. So, but yeah. So, Kody, let's sit there and bring it back to this. So, who are you picking for the series MVP then?
Well, I'm gonna just stick with the Pirates. So I'm just gonna go. I think this series. I think O'Neal Cruz is gonna really break out this series. He was starting to hit pretty well today. I think he was 2 for 4 against the Mets. He was starting to see the fastball a little bit better. And less swing and miss. So I think this series, he's going to break out and be the MVP. You guys have 3 right-handed starters. Should be pretty good for him. As long as he avoids lefties, he'll be a nuisance for you guys. So he's going to be my series MVP.
Okay, George. I will tell you who DC picked real quick.
Sure.
He's taking Tristan Casas.
Okay.
So, and who will you be taking?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think Rafaela finally breaks out a little bit. So I'm going to pick Rafaela. He's going to do something. He's going to do something big. Just feel it.
Oh man. So it's going to be crazy, but it's a huge outfield. But I'm gonna take Tyler O'Neill. I'm gonna take Tyler O'Neill. I think that he's gonna continue to do what he does best with his home runs. It's gonna be hard out there, but like you said, Kody, it's you guys might have possible 1, if not 2 spot starts. So that there would definitely help him out. So
he typically beats up on the Pirates anyway, so that's a good guess.
Yeah. So that's who I'm taking. Let's sit there and go series. I will sit there and go out on a limb just because of Bayo and Crawford pitching and go 2-1. Kody, now, last time you can agree with me, but I just hope it's not like last year. I can't do that now. I can't, man.
Yeah, so just because I want the same thing that happened last year, I'm just going to say you guys beat us the series 2-3. You get 2 out of the 3 wins there.
Okay.
That's kind of Reverse jinx.
So, George, who are you taking? What are you taking?
Keller worries me. I 2-1 Sox, but as I said, Keller worries me. So,
Kody, I will be DMing you if you reversed all this, because no, you sit there, you think it's funny, but we're already going through like enough over here. We're going through some injuries and man, it's just crazy. So, but Kody,
yeah, I really feel for Trevor's story.
Oh, yeah. that man, when he got the injury, I have never seen someone get taken off the field and then speak to media right after, like he did, and you could see the emotion that like this was his comeback year. He spent the off season with these younger kids, working with them just like Tulowitzki did for him, just like Pedroia used to do. And man, he was a leader on that, in the locker room and on the field. And this was probably one of the worst moments of his life, in his career, I could say. And it's horrible to see somebody.
It's always tough. Yeah, it's always tough seeing, especially one of your best players, but anybody, but especially one of your best players go down for the year. I mean, we obviously had that happen to O'Neal Cruz last year with his broken ankle in the second week of April. So, obviously I feel terrible for, obviously Red Sox fans, but especially Trevor Story, because he's dealt with so many injuries these past couple of years. And, this was, like you said, this was his year to, get back on track. So I really do feel bad, about that injury for sure.
Yeah. So, Kody, I got to sit there and say you're probably one of my favorite reporters to come on. Not just because of how exciting the Pirates can be, throughout the season and stuff, but just how you bring the team is different than other podcasters or reporters and stuff like that. So we want to thank you for coming on yet again. Next year it will be the exact same thing, hopefully, where you can come on. Excuse me. But
yeah, for sure.
The floor is yours. Tell everybody where they can hit you up at if you want to know anything and everything Pirates.
Yeah, so you can follow me mainly on Twitter. If you want to see me just rant about the Pirates during their games, you can follow me at Kody Duncan PGH, Kody with a K. And you follow me there, and I also write articles at rumbunter.com, so you can check out some of my stuff there if you want to read up on some of my blogs as well. So
thank you for coming on, Kody, yet again. It's a pleasure. George, you have any final thoughts?
No, Kody. I love reading your stuff. It's always good to have you on. You have a good young team there that's, I think, just waiting to explode. And if they do, it'll be a very, very fun season for you. So, yeah, it's good stuff as always.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So make sure you head on over, and I'm just all dumbfounded right now, like the whole shirt going on Nesson and everything. But head on over to YouTube at BSEN617. Follow us there. You not only get our content, but also our Patriots podcast, Celtics podcast, and Bruins podcast. And it's playoff season, guys. So, and head on over. This will be dropping tomorrow night or tomorrow morning, where we will be on all major platforms, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. But for the OG George Sutherland and for Kody Duncan and myself, thanks for stopping by the Pesky Podcast.